In ancient Jewish custom, marriage was arranged by the parent. When a son is of age, his father will then arrange a marriage for him, or get a servant to find a wife from members with one's own kin, like in the case of Isaac. We also see the opposite happened in the case of Esau. When marriage was contrary to the wishes of the parents, it brought trouble.
Exactly. Though it seems to be more will than romance, parents will still consider the feelings of the children, like in Rebecca, where she indicates her willingness to go at once. Marriage without love does happen at first, as we see the marrying of Jacob and Leah. But arranged marriage intends to produce a stable family.
Yes, so to continue on, usually a servant or friend who attends the bridegroom will negotiate on behalf of the prospective bridegroom and his father with a representative of the bride's father. Well, what will they negotiate about?
There are three words that we need to know in an ancient marriage, which is Mohor, Matan, and Dowry. Mohor is translated as bride price, meaning the price that the groom's father will pay to the bride's father for the exchange for her daughter. Mohor can be paid in cash, property, work service, or even elimination of enemies, as we see in how David became Saul's son-in-law.
The word matan is the Jewish word for gift. In the story of Jacob's daughter Dinah, we see both of these words mentioned. When Hamor asked for Dinah to be married to his son Shechem. So, matan is a gift given to the bride's family in addition to the bride price. Just as how Abraham's servant gave costly ornaments to Rebekah's mother and brother in Genesis 24:53.
Lastly, a dowry is the gift that the bride receives from her family into her new family. We see this dowry in action as Rebekah went away with her own female servants, and Achsah, Caleb's daughter, asking her father for springs of water as she remarries Othniel.
Oh yeah, not forgetting that one of the most important gifts in the dowry is the 10 silver coin bracelet that the bride was supposed to wear on her forehead on her wedding day. It was intended as a financial help to the new family in times of need. It was also a sign of the woman's status and wealth and faithfulness.
That is why you will notice the woman who lost one of the coins in Jesus' parable was so anxious to find it back.
Once the arrangement to marry was entered into, there was a betrothal that was more binding than the engagement in contemporary society. The former words of the betrothal were probably those spoken by Saul when Michal and David were betrothed. You shall be my son-in-law. And the betrothal could be broken only by a legal transaction. And the ground for such termination was adultery.
To show you how significant the betrothal was, listen up. A man who was betrothed to a woman, even though not yet married, was exempted from military service. If a girl was already betrothed and was raped by another man, she could not become that other man's wife because she already belonged to her husband-to-be. Such violation involves the net penalty.
So, betrothal would usually last for about 12 months, during which the home was to be prepared by the groom and the wedding clothes would be prepared by the bride. The bride's family would prepare for the wedding festivities.
Yes, you are right. And it was during this period that Joseph found out that Mary was pregnant. Joseph did not want to expose her publicly because, as a supposed adulteress, Mary would have been stoned to death. It must have taken a great deal of love for Mary and a great deal of trust in God speaking through his dream that enabled Joseph to marry her.
There were several important parts of the wedding itself. Firstly, there is the pronouncement of blessing upon the couple that says, "Our sister, may you increase to thousands upon thousands. May your offspring possess the gates of their enemies."
Yes, and there is also a drawing up of a legal contract and its acceptance, which the Jews still do up until today. But the need for a rabbi or a priest to be present is a later addition to the custom.
The wedding also involved dressing up. The bride was literally admired like a queen, and her hair braided with as many precious stones the family possessed or could borrow. The girls who had dressed her accompanied her as her companions.
Likewise, the bridegroom is dressed in a finery and jewelry and was accompanied by the friends of the bridegroom. Next, we come to the highlight of the wedding, which is the procession.
During the procession at the end of the day, the bridegroom sets out from his home to fetch his bride from her parents' home. At this point, the bride was wearing a veil. Then, later on, the veil will be taken off and will be laid on the shoulder of the bridegroom. And then, they will make this declaration: "The government shall be upon his shoulder."
A procession then sets out from the bride's home to the couple's new home, and the dark roadway would be lit with oil lamps held by wedding guests. And the story told by Jesus, the bride and the groom were late, so the oil in the lamps began to run low. Only those who had brought a reserved flask of oil were able to refill their lamps and welcome the bride and groom.
And this is what the ancient Jewish marriage custom is all about.
Hi, this is Philia.
And this is Johan.
Peter Ho Project is about making videos that explore the thinking deeper section of Bongham's book on exploring the Old Testament.
Peter Ho Project is a non-profit organization. Therefore, we appreciate your donations.
For more details about donation, please go to Peter Ho class at 2:30 on Thursday.
This is our first video and we will be making more.
Please like, comment and subscribe. Thank you.